back to the party, everyone. And we are back. Whiners and Losers, the greatest, the most critically acclaimed, the best, um, whatever accolades, whatever hyperbole I can give to this podcast. Just think about those. Whatever you can think, just think that's what this podcast is. Welcome to Whiners and Losers. We have back-to-back episodes, hopefully, and we have a lot to say this time as well. So first off, if you are still listening or if you're listening for the first time ever or whatever it is, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Please do. Make sure to like the podcast, like the video, whatever. Make sure you like or make sure you interact with everything that's in the feed. It helps if someone's listening, which is a big if I'm being completely honest. And a comment would take us a long way as well. We have something really personal in this episode, like not really personal as like I'm not gonna reveal my identity or something like that. Not that I don't have that fetish to remain anonymous or to remain secret from people anymore. So I'm more accepting the fact that I'll be okay even if I reveal my identity. I'm completely fine with that now. But personal as in, yeah, we're just gonna riff and think about. So I have a friend who's 30, I guess, and he's never had sex. So the thing is, I mean, like, I don't hold it against him. There's nothing funny about that. I mean, a lot of people who are in their 30s probably hasn't had sex. Probably haven't had sex. I'm not entirely sure what's the stats with regards to that are. But in this particular case, it's just funny, is it not? That you spend almost half of your life not being able to participate in one of the most important or most crucial human act or most intimate human activity, or not even human, just like one of the most what do you call, like something that makes you just feel alive, maybe, because it's not that the human are not the only species who engage in this activity. Like in them, all the animals, everyone, like every species engages in this activity. So it's just funny in a sad way. It's like they were not able to find a connection who trust them enough, or just like maybe they just didn't have enough confidence. I mean, I hate the motivational talk. I hate the self-motivation talk and everything, but it's just something to think about when people go through their life not able to find those relationships, not able to find those whatever. I mean, like it is possible that he could have paid for this, like a transactional thing, and I'm not the one to judge. I mean, to each their own. I'm not against it, but personally I wouldn't do it. I mean, nothing wrong in doing it. Maybe there is. I'm not the judge on that, like. But as far as my own philosophy is concerned, my own moral points are considered, a moral whatever, I wouldn't do it. But I wouldn't hold it against them if somebody did, and I wouldn't judge them for it if somebody did, because I have a lot of friends. I have like lots of friends who did do it, and who might do it again even after, like, yeah, man. There's one more thing. So few of my friends are married, and like, especially in a town where I live, especially in a rural setting, in a rural area, it's they're married and they still think about other women, and not only think about, they still approach other women, which is where I draw the line personally. I think that's which is just wrong. It's just wrong. I mean, it is wrong. So there's that. There's something I just wanted to get off my chest. And maybe that's that. Maybe that's that. I don't have anything profound to say. The reason I started this podcast, because I just wanted to document my life, and to be very honest, I'm not actually doing that, because I don't talk about my personal life. I do talk about my projects and everything, but I don't talk about my personal life, like hardly at all, even if I do. And even if I do it in like just bits and pieces in a like abstract way, not directly. I'm not ever directly talking about my personal life, which makes it hard to document my journey. But like we talked about in the last, like I said in the last podcast, we talked about, like, I don't have anyone to talk with, and I like, so there's a good chance no one's probably listening to this shit. So who the fuck is listening? Who the fuck is we? Like Dustin Poirier said to Michael Chandler, who the fuck is we? Yeah. So yeah, what I was saying. So yeah. Like I said in the last podcast, I would be doing a series of interviews called Behind the Curtains. In Hindi, it's called Parde ke Piche. Parde ke Piche. Parde ke Piche. Are you shitting me? Parde ke Piche. And hopefully I'll get few interviews. Hopefully. I'm not entirely sure. So I'm planning to go to this film festival. It is one of the most renowned film festivals in India. So hopefully I'll get someone to talk to me, and I need some questions prepared and everything. And as far as my projects are concerned, I'm still writing the first screenplay I was writing about, and I think I discussed this on the podcast, on the previous episodes, on one of the previous episodes. Definitely, I started writing something which was not my voice, and then I just like switched and I started writing something which I'm much more familiar with. And to be honest, I'm not entirely sure. Like, I have lots of doubts whether the story is legit, like not legit in a way, like whether I'm equipped enough to tell a story that I haven't lived. Because there's a story about homosexual characters, and I'm not a homosexual, and I don't know what homosexuals go through in their life, and I haven't talked to that many homosexuals, if I'm being completely honest, or to any homosexuals. But I can imagine it's pretty hard. I can imagine that. And so my story deals with that, and I feel like a phony. I feel like an imposter trying to write about that, but at the end of the day, it's just a fucking story, right? So someone's writing a female character, they're not fucking females, right? But yeah, at least, yeah, they might be getting some opinions from people who are females. Yeah, whatever. Maybe I should talk to some of those. I mean, like, it came out as homophobic. I genuinely do not mean it. I need to talk to some of the people from homosexual community. That way, I could get a better understanding of what they think and what they go through. Everything, because like the story is like, if you see the plot, it's not bad. It's a good story, but it doesn't have enough. Girth to it. Yeah, that word probably doesn't even make sense. The thing is, I say the word and they probably do make sense, but I just doubt that they do. So there's that. Okay, on that note, make sure to like and subscribe, and whenever I release the Substack that I talked about in the previous episode, I'd link to that as well, and that will definitely reveal my identity for whatever it's worth. Not that anyone cares, not that anyone's listening to this shit anyway. Yeah, so there's that. Adios. Cheers.